All right, we're here at 32nd and Place, just a block to the east of 32nd and McVicker, where you can see police activity there in the Briarwood apartment complex on the south edge of that apartment complex, where earlier this morning, around 3 a.m., police here investigating a suspect maybe involved in some car burglaries. They were in this area certainly looking for people who might have been involved in car burglaries in this area. Came upon a person walking over here at about a block to my south near 33rd and Briarwood here, just to the, again, east of McVicker here. That person then fled from officers. Officers did track this person down over here to the apartments that you're seeing maybe here back behind me, or in front of me, I should say, to my west. I'm looking to the west here at, again, 32nd and Place. That person then exchanged gunfire with officers. Officers returned the fire, and that person was never captured, at least until maybe a short time ago. Now, someone in this area, we were told, was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. And as I pulled up here, the ambulance was taking off with its lights and sirens going. We don't know the condition of the person. We don't know if that was the same person who was involved in this exchange of gunfire with the police at this time. However, it did occur right about this same location. And so we are now waiting to find out from police here, hopefully real soon, if they can give us the information about what actually transpired here this morning. And again, with this person being found with a gunshot wound at around 9:45, 9:50 this morning. And again, that person was being transported as of 10:05 a.m. right there at 29th and Burlingame, heading north toward Stormont Vale Hospital here in Topeka for treatment. So we're waiting to see here if we can get one of the officers here to come over and give us the update as to what happened. But as you can see now ahead, this whole block is cordoned off with the crime scene tape. It is pretty much this whole area halfway down McVicker. I was there earlier this morning around 5:30 or 6 down by the 3200 block of McVicker. A good part of that street is blocked off, and now you can see it's also blocked off here to the east here at 32nd and Place. So again, we are just to the east of 32nd and McVicker. You know, again, we're hoping to hear from police officials here real soon just to give us an update as to what is happening. But it appears to me as if even now the police are maybe even widening the crime scene up ahead of us here to the west just a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. We're about a block away from them. But this is all taking place right now around 10:15 on Thursday morning here in the southwest part of Topeka. We're about 3 or 4 blocks to the west of Burlingame Road and just a little bit to the north of 33rd Street, which is a street that runs down quite a ways toward Oakley, between Burlingame and Oakley. On 33rd Street, 2600 Southwest 33rd is Jardine Middle School. Now that middle school, we were told just moments ago, is on lockdown as police here are continuing their investigation here. So Jardine has a middle school and an elementary school. The middle school is located at 2600 Southwest 33rd, and that is just between McVicker and Randolph. So from where we're standing here, it's about 2 blocks away. So that school is now on complete lockdown. It was on secured campus earlier in the day. And again, you can see officers and detectives now making their way through the crime scene tape up ahead, possibly, as this is all happening here right in front of us. Looks like they are now taking the crime scene tape and making a little bit larger of an area. As you can maybe see, unfurling the tape in front of me here to the west. So waiting to see if we can maybe hopefully we'll find somebody to come over and talk to us here shortly and give us a little bit more information as to what's going on at this moment. Again, we haven't confirmed it yet, but we do know we do confirm that has been a gunshot wound victim here, a gunshot victim. We don't know if that's the same person who was exchanging gunfire with police earlier today. We'll have to wait on that. Certainly it's in the same vicinity. We can definitely say it's in the same vicinity of where this, basically a gun battle broke out this morning, again, to recapture what happened. About 3 a.m. police here were on duty. They were doing basically a specified assignment here in this area of the Briarwood community, which is south of 29th Street and west of Burlingame Road here in the southwest Topeka, south central Topeka possibly. But again, we're west of Burlingame Road, between Burlingame and Randolph and Oakley. So we're to the southwest of 29th and Burlingame. So we'll go ahead and call it Southwest Topeka at that point. Again, this person, they were looking for possibly people who had been suspected in numerous car burglaries, break-ins in this area of late. And they did find somebody who was walking up the sidewalk here around 33rd and Briarwood, which is about a block to my south from where I'm standing here. Police, they turned their car around, their marked patrol car, they turned it around, tried to find this person, and that individual at that point took off running. police momentarily lost him, but other officers who were responding to the scene did see the same person right up ahead here going into these apartments back behind 32nd and McVicker. That resulted in police again trying to get a hold of this person, to question him, to talk to him, but the person again fled, and as officers were closing in on him, that individual then was apprehended. Actually, he was not apprehended. The gunfire erupted. Excuse me, I just got a note that Jardine Middle School lockdown has been lifted. So apparently this was the person they were looking for, because the Jardine Middle School lockdown has literally just been lifted moments ago, according to a text message that I just received. So at any rate, again, this person was back here in these apartments trying to get away from officers. Officers were closing in. At that point, the suspect began to shoot at the officers. The gunfire was exchanged, and it was unknown if anybody was hit. Now, the two officers who were firing their weapons, they were not injured. The question was, did they hit the suspect, or this person who was wanted in terms of being sought by the officers? This man who was seen walking in the area, then maybe lurking and prowling. We don't know all the other things that police were wanting to talk to him about, but they certainly wanted to talk to him, and he fled from them. Again, and then the individual, we're told, opened fire on the officers, who then took cover and returned fire. And we are now waiting to find out if that is the same person indeed who was struck by one of the officers' bullets, or maybe by both of the officers' bullets. We'll have to wait and see on this. And remember, this happens about 3 o'clock this morning. Very, very dark out here. I was here earlier this morning. It was plenty dark, folks, and hard to see what was going on. And so I'm sure there were some lights maybe back here in the apartment complex, but other than that, we don't know much else to tell you. This is the scene was cordoned off again. I was here again around 6:30 or so, 5:30, 6:30, for about an hour, and again there was just police investigating, but there was nothing really to show for it. Again, it was under the cover of darkness, so not a whole lot came out of that. And now again, after the sun came up in about 10 o'clock this morning, we get word that there has been a gunshot victim here in this area, possibly at the apartment complex, and that individual then was taken by American Medical Response Ambulance to Stormont Vale. The lights and sirens were going on the ambulance, and that typically means the injury was fairly serious. So we can't speculate any more beyond that. We do want to get a hold of the officers. Hopefully we will do that very shortly, and we'll be back with you on Facebook Live as soon as we do. But we're going to sign off for now, and we will be back on Facebook Live here shortly. I'm looking at some of the comments. And somebody here says, oh, thank you for your nice comments. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're out here. It's a little bit cold today, and certainly winter is coming, folks. My hands are already freezing. I just can imagine what it's going to be like when it's 20 and 10 degrees and we're out here. But we'll stay out here as long as we need to, and we'll try to get, again, Lieutenant Andrew Badel to come up and speak with us just as soon as possible. We're told he's here at the scene. He's the police spokesman, and we're hoping that he will be here shortly to speak with us. So when he comes, we're going to put him on Facebook Live, so just kind of be watching. We'll come back on here hopefully momentarily, as long as I've got battery. I do have my spare battery pack here, so we should be good for battery, and we'll try to get this Facebook Live video to you just as soon as we possibly can. We're going to sign off for now, and this again is Phil Anderson for CJ Online, reporting here from Southwest 32nd and Place, where again one person has been found with a gunshot wound here just to my west, here near this apartment complex here, the Briarwood Apartments. Now we're just waiting to see if this is the same person who may have exchanged gunfire with officers earlier this morning.